Hello YouTube, this is Chet You Betcha. I just recently put out a very popular video titled How to Control Your Recoil in Apex Legends. And it's doing great, it's doing well, but that video alone isn't going to make you a better player. All that's going to do is help you shoot straighter. This video is how you can apply that to really become a better player. For this video, I will be showing you clips off my Xbox and clips off Twitch. So some of the video's quality is gonna look like 480p or something. Your eyes are fine. I'm sorry if parts of the video have bad quality. Just ignore it. Just focus on the sound of my voice and we'll be okay, okay? So there's a 20 bomb I dropped with my boys. That's gonna be playing in the background. And then I'm gonna be talking about little things I do and throwing in clips to further illustrate the point that I'm talking about. So if you see me keep cutting back to Storm Point seemingly randomly, that's because that's like the main source. I'm dropping the 20 bomb in the background while showing you guys educational clips. I got 12 tips coming up for you in this video. Number 1 is avoid getting 2v1'd. In this clip right here, you can see me strafing. I'm dodging the 1v2s every step of the way. If you look at, I'm strafing back behind cover, back behind cover, back where it's safe, back behind cover. I don't let two people shoot me at the same time. It's always a 1v1. I see a lot of newer players make eye contact with their enemy, and then they do this awkward diagonal strafe where they're just going in one direction and they don't really know what they're doing. They're just trying their best to aim at the guy. Your strafe needs to be helping you, either defensively, like behind cover, kind of like what I'm doing in this clip, or around a corner, wide swinging at somebody to get that initial knock. Whatever the situation calls for, your strafe needs to be helping you. Do not tunnel vision on an enemy and just hold forward at them. And this is how the video is going to go. I just talked about strafing for a point, and now I'm going to show you a clip. This is me strafing, but using my natural cover, killing 5, almost 7 guys without even getting shot. I don't even get shot in this whole clip. Check it. Tip number 2 and 3 are similar, but very different. Trust me, trust me, trust me. Tip number 2 is predicting where your enemy will be. Now, audio is a great indicator for this. If you hear footsteps, if you hear a little climbing animation, you're probably gonna look up, right? You need to use your clues, any sense you have. If you can taste them, if you can smell them, I don't care. Where are they going to be? That's where you want the center of your screen to be. Okay, this is a strategy called centering, and I'm going to be covering that a lot in this video. That is where you want to be aiming. Where do you think they're going to be? Boom, center your screen right there. Tip number 3 is going to sound a lot like tip number 1 and 2 combined, which, you know, mathematically makes sense, but it's use cover to force your opponents into your field of view. You can see I'm about to do it like in a few clips in the future here. I strategically camp, I guess you want to call it. I camp behind cover, and the only way that the enemies are able to shoot at me is if they're in a very tight little bottleneck. What that allows me to do is not flail around doing 360s on my Low-Sens. I get to just look at one small area and either aim left or right. You can see I really incorporate tip 1, 2, and 3 all in this nice little video of me reviving my friend. That's because these are just fundamentals of aiming faster. So you're going to see them, now that I've highlighted them, you're going to see them in all the future clips. Tips number 4 and 5 are both revolving around hip firing. Coming from a 3 cents Gibby main who always ADSs, if your opponent is in your face, please do not be afraid to hip fire. You have permission, okay? Your arm shield, you can use it on the next guy. You don't need to aim down your sights with every gun, every shotgun, every SMG, whatever, your wingman. Just hip fire them, man. You do not want to be limited by your 3 ADS just because some bozo's up in your face. Tip number 5 is real easy. Whenever you're hip firing, just do the same recoil control pattern as if you're ADSing. It keeps it pretty steady for me. Tip number 6 may seem basic, but I told a friend of mine this and she doubled her kill death ratio, and I'm not joking. In a 1v1, if you feel like you're not going to one mag the enemy, don't let your gun run out of ammo and start the reload animation and then switch guns and then ADS and then shoot the guy. Just switch your weapon before your first gun's even out of ammo. If you think, you know, maybe you're going to miss 10 shots, maybe you're only going to hit them for 140, kind of predict if you think you're going to hit them or not. Just switch your guns, and then it's like a non-stop spew of ammo coming out, kind of like in these clips. Tip number 7, I know a lot of you are guilty of. If your enemy is not on your screen, it's okay to let off the trigger. If they dip behind cover, if they go into a Gibby bubble, if they octane pad over your head, if they horizon queue above you, you don't have to just hold the trigger down and let the gun reload for you. Just let them land, let them poke back out, and then start shooting again. If they catch you in a reload animation, they're probably going to one mag you. If they are landing over your head and you miss every single shot, you're going to get put on TikTok, bro. Just choose your shots more carefully. Tip number 8 is use your audio cues to pre-fire or at least pre-aim. If you hear a grav lift going off, you can pre-aim right in front of the opposing grav lift. Like, that's where they're going to land. If you hear a ash portal, there's guaranteed at least one guy coming through wherever you see it set up. Just aim at the portal and start shooting. That's where the ash is going to pop out, maybe her teammates. If you hear somebody taking a wraith portal, immediately aim at that wraith portal, just light it up, pre-fire it. They're coming through, whether they like it or not. They're coming through. Light them up, bro. Tip number 9, I've been doing it all video. I'm looking at who my teammates are shooting at, and I'm shooting that guy. Because listen, it's a lot easier to one-mag somebody if they only have like 90 health. But that's my philosophy. Who needs good aim if the enemy has no health left, right? So just look at who your teammates are shooting at and shoot that guy. If you're shooting at somebody, tell your teammates to shoot that guy with you. Look at these clips. Look how easy it is. While the team firing continues, let's talk about tip number 10. It's get high ground. I think we all know this one, but let's talk about the science behind it. If you're high ground, meaning, you know, you're at about a 30 to 45 degree angle above your opponent, you're not too tall, you're just, you know, maybe one story above them, right? You have the privilege of being able to see their entire body, while you yourself are probably only showing your head. And you have the privilege of being able to back up and heal, back up, reload, back up, revive your teammate, and your opponent can't do anything about it. You have the high ground, so they either have to climb up and, you know, show their entire body to you where you can shoot down at them, or they just have to sit there and wait for you to drop on them. It really, you know, puts the ball in your court. Whoever has the high ground, they kind of control the pace of the fight. So 9 times out of 10, it's going to be smart, unless you're fighting a Horizon. But just pretend that Horizon isn't in the game. Get high ground. Tip number 11 is nice and easy. Look at this railing I'm standing in front of. If you see that on any map in Apex Legends, that type of railing, just do not try to shoot the guy behind it, okay? There's some magical powers going on. It blocks all your bullets. It's bad shot selection. Just avoid it. Get above them. And I'm about to drop my 20 bomb. Look at how many of these aim tips I'm using in this final fight here. And finally, we have tip number 12. It's pretty similar to tip number 1. It's when you're bubble fighting, you don't have to be Gibby to bubble fight, by the way, but when you're bubble fighting, you strafe with a purpose. If you're 1v1ing, all you gotta do is mirror strafe them, you know, match their feet, and you're gonna win every time because you're trading damage. If it's a 1v2, like in this fight, then you need to choose a target, get him out. Do whatever you can to knock one, and then try your best to win the follow-up 1v1. You're not gonna win a 2v1, but you can win 2 1v1s. Like this. I told you I had enough to kill. Now in this fight, this is really just a flex. It's not really like that educational, but check this out. Yeah, I tried my best to not take any unnecessary damage. So what I'm doing is I'm letting my teammate draw the aggression, and as soon as the enemy's shooting at him, that's when I go in to do damage to the enemy. As soon as the enemy shoots at me, that's when I back out and let my teammate do the damage. That's a classic drawing aggro move. Works every time. I hope you learned something. I make this kind of video just to like, you know, help the general population of Apex Legends. I'd want to help you guys. I hopefully taught you something. Hopefully nobody here was like, well, these tips sucked. You know, I'm just a guy. I'm not a professional player. I'm not a professional editor. I'm just some dude who plays Apex. So I'm trying my best here. I hope you learned something. I hope you have a good day. Much love.